Character development is an essential part to a good story. Only the best of the best, the top shelf stories have extremely well written characters. Today, I'll be talking about some of the greatest character development I've seen in my life. Ultimately, I'm gonna talk about the best written character in existence. You know I gotta start off with the king himself. He's not actually a king, Prince Vegeta. The first time we actually see Vegeta is in the Saiyan saga. He was an evil, prideful, selfish prince, and he was so cool. We didn't really know much about him. All we knew was that he was strong and he didn't mind cutting off his BFFs. But after losing to Goku, a 5-year-old, and an obese samurai, his ego definitely took a hit. An experience like that will humble you. Humble you so much that in the next arc, the Frieza saga, Vegeta was actually working with our heroes. Do not get it twisted though, he was still doing ungodly things on Namek. He killed soldiers, massacred Namekians, killed Kui. Actually, that's not that bad. Eventually, Vegeta and our heroes fight Frieza. And if y'all thought Earth was humbling for Vegeta, man, Vegeta got... Vegeta eventually dies on Namek and comes back, and the next time we see him is in the Cell saga. And this saga was a big deal for Vegeta. He got stronger, him and Bulma were officially a thing, and he met his son twice. And although he was a terrible father to him, Vegeta really loved him. But after Cell is defeated and Goku is dead, Vegeta decides he will fight no more. After 7 years of no Goku and peace on Earth, things are gonna change a bit. And as y'all can see, Vegeta is conforming to human life. He's pretty much an Earthling now. I mean, what could go wrong? Majin Vegeta is a representation of Vegeta's past. He doesn't care about anything except fighting Goku. Because no matter how much time passes, that first fight he lost on Earth still stuck with him. And although Vegeta was back on his evil stuff, he had changed too much already. He was a family man, a family guy. And in a final attempt to stop Majin Buu, he gives his son a hug and sacrifices himself for humans, Earthlings. The same people he did not care about a few years ago. That, ladies and gentlemen, is character development. I'm not even gonna mention the fact that he admitted that Goku was better than him. That is truly art. Then Dragon Ball Super came out. Vegeta went from bad to good. But what about someone who went from good to a monster?
My name is Walter Hartwell White.
I love this man, but I also hate him. Walter White has one of the craziest character arcs in history. His transformation is night and day, and it was a gradual growth too. That's what I love about it so much. First half of season 1, chemistry teacher Walter. He was a weak man. He worked 2 jobs and he never stood up for himself. Boom, he's diagnosed with cancer. So he decides, hey, if I'm gonna die, I might as well make some money while I'm at it. He starts cooking meth. Maybe killed some people along the way, but it's no biggie. Boom, Heisenberg is born. Season 2, Walter and Jessie are officially in the game now. Everything's looking good. They get into that money, get into that dough. But Tuco not acting too nice, so now we gotta kill him. Walter and Jessie officially start running things by themselves, getting that money, getting that dough. Trouble in paradise. Walter's wife, Skylar, is a little suspicious of his actions, which eventually leads her to cheating on him. How does that even make sense? But we got some good news. Walter's cancer is getting better. But wait. Walter is not too happy about that. You see, it wasn't according to plan. He was supposed to sell drugs and then just die. Now that the cancer is getting better, it brings up the question, why would he need to keep selling drugs? Is it for him or is it for his family? So now things are a little complicated. We meet Jesse's girlfriend, Jane. She'll be important later. Walter meets Gustavo. Just imagine Colonel Sanders, but instead of selling chicken and fries, he sells chicken and methamphetamines. And Walter wants to work with him to make some more of that guap. You know what I mean? Sadly to no avail. But good news, Walter eventually gets an opportunity to work with Gustavo because I guess he wanted a piece of that blue crystal. But then Walter is put in a bit of a pickle. You see, he only has 1 hour to deliver the product. But at the same time, his daughter's about to be born. Now Walter, I know it's a lot of Walter eventually goes to see Jessie because they've been having a rocky relationship this season and he just wants to talk to him. But what he doesn't know is that Jane and Jessie right now are hot. They were using the needle. And when Walter walks in there, pause the music real quick. This is messed up. Walter officially becomes a bad person here. And not like a bad person like, oh, he's so bad that he's cool. No, he's not cool at all. This is vile. So when Walter gets in there, he sees Jessie and Jane knocked out pretty much because they're so hot. And boom, out of nowhere, Jane starts choking on her own vomit because she overdosed. And when I was first watching this, I was like, Walter, help her, that's Jessie's girl, help her. Walter just sits there and watches her die. I can't even put into words how messed up this is. This dude had the audacity to cry after too, like he was watching like the freaking intro of Up or something. And the only reason he did this is because he thought Jane wasn't good for Jesse. But instead of putting his hand on Jesse's shoulder and saying, hey, Jesse, maybe you shouldn't be with her. No, he'd rather just let his girlfriend die. To me, this is when Walter became irredeemable. He could feed the homeless, donate millions, give me a lifetime supply of Chick-fil-A. Almost nothing will get me to forgive this man. Now, if he threw in some of that blue crystal. And to make things worse, if you look at it, Walter low-key, high-key killed her. And not because he let her die, but he literally was the reason she got moved on her back. It's just sad, man. You know? Season 3, baby, back to making that money. Walter finally tells Skyler that he's dealing drugs, which honestly didn't go so well. We meet Jesse's new girlfriend, and she has a kid. He'll be important later. Walter's brother-in-law Hank starts tracking down this man called Heisenberg. You know who he's talking about. Like I said earlier, Walter is officially working for Gustavo. But Gustavo doesn't like how uncontrollable Walter is. So he thinks the only way to deal with him is to get him deleted. Walter kills more people, and to deal with the Gustavo issue, he sends Jesse to go kill their other cook. Boom, season 4. Now that Jesse murdered an innocent man, Gustavo should have no reason to want to kill Walter anymore. I lied. Gustavo
Not liking this. That is terrifying. Oh my God, that is just horrifying. Alrighty, folks, so today we're gonna take a look at the Apple Vision Pro. We're gonna take a look at the Apple Vision Pro. Yeah, we got one of them. I'm gonna take this thing for a ride. We'll talk about it. This video is sponsored by our friends over at Birch Gold.
So it's based on where you look. So that's how you select things.
Wow.
So look at a number, and then with your like index and thumb, just tap them together.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous. Okay, so if I wanted to change the screen, then go like this, and suddenly it's a different. Wow, so now you're just surrounded by desert, and now I can't see any of you guys. All I see is that we're in the Mojave.
You're at Burning Man?
Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty wild. And then if you wanted to change the actual view, yeah, that's crazy. That's totally crazy. Okay, should try gravity or way of water or something. Okay, I'm trying to find something. I'm in Apple TV. They do need a better like get out of the app thing. Like it's a little unwieldy still. Like they need you to be able to go like that and just, it goes away. Okay, I'll go to YouTube and see if we can play something. There's Daily Wire. Wild.
You can either type like an old person, or you can actually just look at the number and tap your fingers together.
And from the outside, you look like a complete crazy person.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. There's something called mindfulness, so I'm curious like what that actually is. So I want to see what they.
Hi, this is Jessica, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation on creativity.
That is wild. This is the most immersive thing that they've done so far, because it's an app designed for the thing. I could see like for yoga or for meditation, it'd be amazing.
Can you think about your breathing in a creative way?
Stop. Can you give it like a verbal command? I don't want to meditate anymore. Silence wedge. Okay, they have something here called Encounter Dinosaurs. You have any idea what that is? Creatures in this experience can see you and may react to you. Okay, so this is terrifying. Okay, so they've got like a 3D butterfly, and it legit looks like it's like in front of you, like here. And if you go like that, it'll move around away from you. Okay, so now it's opening up a window, and it looks like an actual landscape that you can walk into. Okay, so this is like, it doesn't want you walking any further than this. But if you go like this and you like motion at this dinosaur and then you like smack the dinosaur. Whoosh. No, the dinosaur just wants to be friends. Okay. Pretty wild. Okay. Oh, okay. Now another bigger dinosaur is coming. Oh boy. Yeah, that would be scary as all hell. That is a giant ass dinosaur. Not liking this. That is terrifying. Oh my god, that is just horrifying. It is amazing how your eyes play tricks on your brain. Like, you know it's all fake, but it's like right in your face. Wow. Okay, if that's supposed to be like kind of what immersion will eventually look like, that's pretty.
How did it feel? What were the Oscars?
It was amazing. You have to be there to know what it feels like.
Did you end up meeting new friends?
There was one in particular that I was very, very happy to meet.
Yeah, and this is Ki Hui Kwan.
Yeah, he came to me. I didn't know who he was, and he asked me for a selfie. And my boyfriend saw the selfie, and he was like, "Oh my God, you met Ki?" And I'm like, "Yeah? What are you talking about?" He's like, "He's Data from the Goonies." And I'm like, "What?" I grew up, like, for some reason in Cuba, they would play the Goonies all the time on TV. Like, this was one of my favorite movies ever growing up. And I didn't realize that Q was the guy from the Goonies.
But then you saw him again.
I saw him and I was like, I need a selfie with you.
Yeah, exactly, right. I have two selfies. Here's the one that he took when you didn't really recognize him. And then here's the one after you went up to him, like,
Yes.
"Oh yeah! Hey!" How did it feel? What were the Oscars?
Right. I've been excited this weekend because the footage that I'm going to show you today, I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited about what I've got to show you because some of it, mate, you've never seen before, ever, period. I know that because people have sent me direct emails of their own stuff. However, today we're going to be seeing different UFOs, interviews as well of people, eyewitnesses who from years ago saying that they saw UFOs, and also aliens. This whole video, I think, is going to be about whether something is real or fake, because and we know there's a lot of footage out there. Whenever there's claims of UFOs, claims of aliens, it's always grainy or blurry, right? And we go, oh, fake, it's always grainy or blurry. But then when we get 4K footage, we go, CGI. Nobody can win, right? So these are the videos that I've seen, people have sent me. Some of them are just so out there, mind-blowing. I just think, is this real? Could this be real? Because the thing is, it's so good. In your mind, you're thinking, it has to be fake. But then the question is, but what if it's not? Do you know what I mean? Is that what some people are playing us on? Because something looks so good, they're saying, yeah, it's fake. It's just like, we'll never know. We'll never know. But anyway, mate, I've got some bangers here for you, okay? I've got to load up on the screen to show you, but I don't think I'm going to show you all. So you have to bear with me, watch another video, because I'll keep on uploading them, all right? So, first of all, I want to show you one of my favorites that I like. It's amazing, but it has been debunked. But again, Has it been debunked? Is it real? Is it just sort of like damage control? Check this out, mate. This is amazing. I remember seeing this. I was like, that's it. It's proof. Absolute proof. And then I started looking into it and people were like, no, it's fake. It's this. But we'll look at the comments in a second. But check this out. Can you imagine the excitement? Right? When I first saw this, why is it so quiet? When I first saw this, mate, I was like, are you effing kidding me? That's it, proof. Look at it, just boom, straight down the water. And we've been speaking about for ages what Tucker said about aliens being underwater. The UFOs are underwater. Let's see it again. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Sorry. Mate, I'm not being funny, but that's a pretty expensive practical joke, all right? Just to make a viral video. Look at this thing, right? Here, let's slow this bad boy down. Look, frame by frame, look at it. I mean, 14 years ago. I know. 14 years ago, CGI started to get quite good, right? But this, mate, is on another bloody level. Just to track that movement would be pretty difficult, right? So when you track something, you would have to find something for the image to track onto, right? So you'd say, okay, let's just go back. Let's just bring up the UFO, right? Just a quick basic view of hang on. Right, so like for it to be constantly in the right place, even with camera movement, you would have to sort of like tell the program to look at probably like a corner of some sort, something which is quite sort of
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Well, that seems so crazy to think there's not a list.
That's what Jimmy said. He's a tinfoil hat guy.
There's a lady in jail for sex trafficking.
And Jimmy would acknowledge it.
To no one. Like, there's no one who's been arrested that she sex trafficked to.
And that's what Aaron's saying. Well, there's a list that's out. Who knows if it's fake? I don't know. It could be a fake list. Who knows? But Chris Tucker's on that list. And they asked Chris Tucker on a podcast, what's up with you being on the list? He didn't do what Jimmy Kimmel said. Jimmy Kimmel said it's a fake list. Who cares what that list says? It's fake.
Right.
Chris Tucker goes, yeah, I did go on that flight, but we went to Africa, and I went with a bunch of diplomats. I didn't know who this fucking Epstein guy was. Like, Chris Tucker says, like, I had no idea. We were on this plane. We were going to Africa, do some diplomatic shit, and turns out he's a pedophile. I didn't know.
Well, they definitely got people connected to him by using famous people.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
So,
like,
my
if
point
you
was,
find
my
out,
point was, Chris Tucker basically confirmed that the list was like legit because he's on it.
Right. There's this dude that was inviting me to this conference once, and he was like, Kanye West is going to be there. I'm like, oh, Kanye West is going to be there. Next thing you know, you're there, right?
Yes.
And if you don't know who's there, and some dude, this was just a conference, it was like a tech conference. They wanted me to come and talk about like the influence of social media and podcasting and shit. I was like, I talk about that all the time. When am I going to go there? But point is, they were trying to lure me by saying that some famous dude I know was going to be there. So if you hear like, oh my God, you know, Richard Dawkins is going to be there.
You think it's safe?
Yeah, all these famous people are going to be there. World leaders are going to be there.
What was Stephen Hawkins doing on that list so much?
Stephen Hawkins was a freak. He used to go to strip clubs.
Really?
Yeah, because he could feel, but he couldn't move. You know who told me about that? Eric Weinstein. Weinstein told me about that back in the day. He would go to like swingers clubs. He would lay there, and they all gyrate on him. Because it probably felt good, and he can't move, but he could feel. He had Lou Gehrig's disease, so his body just.
Their dicks still get hard though.
I bet. I mean, he's not stupid. He's smart as shit. He just can't move.
It's crazy because like to go to the effort to blackmail Stephen Hawking.
Well,
like, you know, easy that would be if like you really want to blackmail
I don't think that's
a dude.
What they were doing.
He had a bunch of handlers though.
But you know what I'm saying? How easy the guy's in a wheelchair, he can't even move.
Yeah, but you got to think
put him
of
in
it
any
as,
situation,
right?
And what is he gonna do? Say stop. Like we're gonna wheel you in. You're on this island that like.
Now you have to think of it in terms of a long picture. Like, what is the picture? If you have esteemed scientists, Nobel laureates, scholars, all these different world leaders, bankers, famous singers, famous actors, they're all there. So that's the way you get people to do it. You invite people to this immense, lavish celebration that with intellectual world leaders, geniuses. And you think, well, how could it be bad if all these geniuses are there?
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you're doing yayo, and you got some girl from some Eastern Bloc country that's rubbing your and you don't know that she's 16, and she takes you in a room, and the room is filled with cameras. That's
blackmail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
That's
think
what it's all about.
We're probably facing the effects of that right now. I bet there's decisions that were made. There's influence that got moved around. There's people that support a certain narrative because they were on that list.
Wasn't that what I was saying all day today?
Has to be.
I think everything that's going on right now in the world is linked to Jeffrey Epstein. That's what I think. I think
everything?
I think everything, man.
Maui?
Trump shit, everything?
Everything.
Everything?
Who's
UFOs?
connected? Who, like, I don't
Gaza?
know. Yeah.
Well, you know,
yeah,
look,
all of it. All of it.
Since I met you, we've discussed UFOs. UFOs have been around. They've been talking about them since Jesus left Chicago.
Right.
But the last 3 fucking years, everybody's seen fucking UFOs.
Yeah.
How about that Miami shit? Come on.
Miami.
Come on, dog.
The people who did coke for 40 years.
Yeah.
That's what you saw. You didn't see no fucking aliens. But that's what they're selling all over. Now people from the Navy.
It's a distraction.
All of a sudden, all these pilots. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going here and they were
so
driving
fake.
right next to me, waving
it's
at
so
me.
fake.
Really? And now you decide to fucking tell me.
This is what I think.
Tell me.
There's a lot of important people that were on that list, right?
Right.
A lot from all over the world.
Right.
Politics,
Music,
Hollywood, music,
actors.
You saw the list is out, dog. No ass right there.
No
Chris
athletes.
Tucker pretty much said it was real.
Yep.
Not that everybody on the list did shit. Who knows? It would be easy to, like you said, drag. Like if in the 90s or in the 2000s, if people would have liked my music and I would have had a record deal, thank God nobody liked it.
And somebody said,
And
hey, you want to come
go
to the island?
Let's go to an island, dog. There's a billionaire. He's got a bunch of bitches there. We're going to party. I think I would have went, dog.
Nerdrotic.com.
After an abysmal 2022 for Tinseltown, we didn't think things could possibly get any worse. Then 2023 came along and said, hold my Bud Light. Race swapping historical figures, multiple historic flops, and putting a chick in it and making her gay and lame.
Put a chick in it and make her lame and
gay!
There is so much to choose from, it made it difficult to get this list down to a reasonable number. But not to worry, Nerdrotic is back and we have assembled a team with a unique set of skills to do the math and massage the analytics. Let's go over the top 5 woke Hollywood disasters of 2023. Since this is our channel and we can do what we want, we're going to start with number 6, The Witcher Season 3.
They're all searching for you, Ciri.
You are the key to everything, Cirilla.
Princess Cirilla!
Siri! Siri!
Where's the girl?
Where's Ciri? He's looking for Ciri. I need to find Ciri. Where is Cirilla? Have you seen Cirilla? Ciri! Where are you, Ciri?
Siri, are you here? We're looking for Siri.
Where the are you?
With the shift of the showrunner's vision, where it's an ensemble cast more so than a singular lead, and the perspectives is shifted to be almost more of a Cirilla Yennefer perspective. And so it's about finding my character's place within that vision and making sure that I do everything I can to be as faithful to the source material as possible within the structure set out for me.
After Netflix ignored the not-so-subtle warnings from Henry Cavill prior to Season 2. After ignoring the backlash from a disgruntled audience following the disappointing Season 2. After that, Netflix continually ignored Henry Cavill when he internally and very publicly stated,
For me, it is all about the books. I'm always of the mind, if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. And I don't think they're broken.
Henry Cavill had finally had enough, and on October 13, 2022, he left The Witcher. Then on June 29th of 2023, we all found out why. The Witcher Season 3 Part 1 featured more girl bosses than you can shake a box of wine at. Fan favorite Jaskier is back, and this time, he's gay.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Incidentally, we're still waiting for the Dan Vass cover from this season, and if any Witcher fans had any doubt prior to Season 3, they won't after watching it, because this is clearly Yennefer and Ciri's show, The Witch Her. Season 3 Parts 1 and 2 were based on the book A Time for Contempt, which is strangely appropriate because showrunner Lauren Hissrich and her patriarchy-smashing on-crack team of writers clearly have contempt for the lore, men in general, and The Witcher, who in Season 3 Parts 1 and 2 appears on screen in less than 25% of his own show. When Henry Cavill's Witcher does appear on screen, he's sitting down and talking, sitting next to beds, dancing, or asking for Ciri.
Where's Ciri?
The only monster he fights on his own is made out of fleshy girl bits with detached heads that look like testicles, which is probably some intersectional feminist allegory for the subjugation of women. To be fair, that argument can be made for the rest of the episode, all of Season 3 Parts 1 and 2, all of Season 2, and hell, Season 1. The Witcher does have one more battle, a beach-off with Vilgefort, which sidelines him for the final 2 episodes. And Henry Cavill, possibly the best casting choice for a fictional character in a Hollywood production in recent memory, because he played the Witcher games, read the Witcher books, and respected the Witcher lore, is unceremoniously saved by a woman in his final skirmish over a girl getting her doll stolen. And it should be no surprise that The Witcher lost 30% of its audience from Season 2 to Season 3 Part 1, and then lost another 30% between Season 3 Part 1 and Season 3 Part 2. And unsurprisingly, the audience scores cratered on Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic. All this happened despite Lauren Hissrich begging the fans to come back after Henry Cavill left, and throwing his replacement, Liam Hemsworth, under the bus with a billboard that says, yes, he's still Geralt in Season 3, and then retweeting it from the Witcher account. And the pride of Poland is turned into a fanfic intersectional feminist fever dream reflecting the Los Angeles that the writers live in today. Recently, Witcher author Andrzej Sapkowski came out and admitted that Netflix never listened to him. That's obvious, but don't feel bad. They didn't listen to Henry Cavill or the fans, and now they have a dead show. Number 5, the Doctor Who 60th Anniversary Specials.
So, this species only communicated with their eyebrows. And I went, I mean, you know, huh? Come in peace.
Terence McKenna once said it best, that science asks of you one miracle. That's the Big Bang.
Yeah.
There's one miracle. It really is kind of like a miracle.
Yeah.
If in the beginning there was nothing, and then God created the earth and the skies. And it's essentially what the Bible is trying to say. They're just doing it in a way.
And the Bible got it right. They got the order right.
Right.
You know?
I think it's based on an understanding that people had achieved. Because if you think about the Bible, right, and if all these people are correct about the original history of sophisticated civilization, if the Randall Carlsons and the Graham Hancocks and the Robert Shocks of the world and the John Anthony West, if they're correct in the timeline of, like, say, the most sophisticated society that we are aware of, which is Africa, if those people that lived in Africa 30,000, 40,000 years ago in Egypt, if they created a society that was infinitely more sophisticated than anything that we had ever seen before, like, how did they do that? Who did that? And what was that like? Like, what?
Why Elon Musk wanted to burn down Warner Brothers. Musk engaged in a heated feud with Warner Brothers over his ex-girlfriend Amber Heard's role in the film Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Amber Heard and Elon Musk first met in 2013 on the set of the film Machete Kills, but they officially started dating in April 2017. They split in 2018. When Johnny Depp won a lawsuit against Amber Heard, Warner Brothers considered firing the actress. A source with knowledge of the behind-the-scenes battle told Variety that Musk had one of his attorneys send a scorched earth letter to Warner Brothers, threatening to burn down headquarters if Heard was dropped from the Aquaman sequel. This incident occurred after Musk tweeted his support for an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory on Platform X, leading to many brands and advertisers pulling their ads from the platform. Whose side are you on? And did you like Aquaman 2? Did you know? Why Elon Musk wanted to burn
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is James, and in this video, let's take a look at the biggest questions viewers have after watching The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead came out in 2010 and ran for 11 seasons. You could almost say 12 with that 11th season extended, but it ended in 2022. The franchise has several spin-offs. These questions mainly pertain to the Mothership show, but carry over just a little bit. But hey, don't forget to check out my other videos. There's lots more The Walking Dead content and always more being added. Thank you very much. But let's jump right into the questions. These are common questions most viewers have. You guys know there's several more. We can talk about them in the comments. But first question, how did Rick survive his coma? So Rick Grimes was shot in the first season, first episode, and in the hospital, he's in a coma. Shane tried to, get him out, but he's like, I don't know about this. Blocked the door with the gurney and hauled ass. Rick's left there. How long? Well, some people say a week. Some people say a few weeks, a month. It really should have been 2 months according to the timeline. But that's the thing about the timeline in The Walking Dead and all the fans. Everyone has their own opinion about the timeline. But anyway, let's say he's there for several weeks. How did he survive? He couldn't have just laid there and not had any care. But he was there for some time. The Walking Dead and AMC answered that by producing a little webisode called The Oath. I did a video on that. I'll put the links in the description to several videos I'll be referencing because I've already done videos on the subject or the question. So The Oath kind of answers that question as far as that little short. I think you couldn't even find it for free on YouTube if you look for it. Or that webisode, it supposedly tells about a nurse at that hospital that supposedly would have taken care of Rick Grimes. So that kind of answers that question. That's about the only answer we have for that. Next question, why didn't Michonne's pet walkers attack her? Not everybody had this question, but it was a big question. And the answer is, supposedly,
you take away their arms so they can't grab you. Take away their jaws so they can't bite you. Take away their ability to eat. They lose interest in doing so.
The walkers go docile. They no longer have the aggression, the desire. They're just there.
Become docile, in a sense.
Lurkers.
Docile.
And Michonne found this out somehow, some way, and did this to these and chained them up. And where other people were putting blood on them, you know, as far as the camouflage goes, Michonne was using these two pet walkers as the smell, the scent camouflage. Okay, this is more of a misconception than a question, but it's a
The HBO series Westworld is set in the near future where tech corporation Delos Incorporated owns and operates the titular Westworld theme park, an Old West-inspired park filled with robotic androids known as hosts that allows guests to live out their cowboy fantasies. This was all safe for the guests as the hosts were programmed not to kill humans. The park was the brainchild of Robert Ford and his partner Arnold Weber. Following the death of Arnold, Ford takes full control as park director. Other employees of Westworld include Teresa Cullen, the head of quality assurance, Bernard Lowe, the head of host behavior, who also had a romantic relationship with Teresa, Elsie Hughes, Bernard's programmer and assistant, Lee Sizemore, the head of narrative who constantly butts heads with Ford over storylines for the park's hosts, and Ashley Stubbs, head of security. Inside the park, we are introduced to Dolores Abernathy, a host whose storyline revolves around being a rancher's daughter that can be saved by guests from a gang of murderers and rapists. Every day her parents are murdered, and every day her fate is determined by park guests. Dolores is also scripted to be in a relationship with the heroic host, Teddy Flood. When Dolores' father, Peter, sees a modern-day photograph, it causes him to malfunction, forcing the Westworld employees to decommission him from service and replace him with a new host to serve as Dolores' father. When Dolores sees the photo, she doesn't malfunction, but instead begins questioning the very nature of her existence. After Dolores interacts with another host, the brothel Madame Maeve, Maeve also begins malfunctioning. When brought into Delos' labs for repairs, Maeve wakes up and witnesses the outside world and all of the damaged hosts that were being worked on. Maeve realizes that her entire existence was a lie and remembers that in a previous storyline, she had a young daughter. After being placed back in the park, Maeve makes it her mission to rally the hosts and overthrow their captors, reuniting with her daughter in the process. Inside Westworld, Maeve teams up with her friend Clementine and outlaws Hector and Armistice. On the outside, during repairs, Maeve befriends a kindly repair tech named Felix, persuading him and his partner Sylvester to help her by maxing out her stats and giving her the ability to control other hosts. Throughout the season, Maeve uses her new skills to plan her escape. Outside the park, Delos is looking for ways to push Ford out of his role and assume total control. Delos board member Charlotte Hale arrives and teams up with Teresa to steal Ford's research to give to the board and orchestrate an event to blame Ford's code for violent and uncontrollable hosts. In retaliation, Ford reveals that Bernard was secretly a host, modeled after his old partner Arnold, and has him kill Teresa. Realizing his entire life was a lie and racked with guilt over Teresa's death, Bernard